Hey Tidarin. Here we are. Alright. A line from the movie Battleship randomly pops into my head. What was this again? We are going to die, you're going to die, I'm going to die, we're all going to die. Okay, got it. Hey Bea! Hey. Alright. Why would such a disturbing line come to mind? Then...
いなくなってしまったなんて、そんな...
When I return to the classroom from the dorms after lunch, I hear the tense voice of one of my acquaintances. Anja, hey hey! Gone? Don't tell me there's been another disappearance.
どうした?何があった?あ、八重垣ちゃん。
The younger Sasaki sister turns and looks at me hesitantly. Or rather, it looks like she's trying to choose her words carefully. Could it be...
おい、まさか高崎のやつやめたんじゃないだろうな。え?だから消えたって。
And your thought immediately went to her?
あ、八重垣ちゃん!
The elder Sasaki sister dashes over, almost barreling into me, and vigorously thumps her hand down on my shoulder.
どこにいるか知らない?
I guess that seals it. I barely hear the latter part of what she says.
高崎のやつ、やめたのかよ。
How can you draw this conclusion so early? We don't even know what they're talking about. Maybe they're talking about the rabbits. Maybe the rabbits escaped. I don't know. Okay, I mutter to myself. Now you activated Ichigo.
いや、いなくなったって。勝手に退学者扱いにしてもらっても困るわ。
There she is. From behind me comes a familiar voice, cool and pointed as ever. The knowledge that she hasn't gone, that she hasn't quit, makes me want to breathe a real sigh of relief. It's an odd feeling.
ようやく慣れてきた日常がまた変わるのが。
Yeah, sure. That's the thing. For sure. Everybody believes you. That's what I tell myself anyway.
何があったの?
The twins are just good fun, okay? They're super cute. The elder Sasaki's sister answers Takasaki's question with a series of wild gesticulations. Okay, I was on the money. It's the bunnies. Oh no. As soon as I hear that it's not the person who's missing, I immediately deflate. I feel like making a snarky comment. We were entrusted with their care, and if they're gone...
ねえ、高崎さん。あなた、ちゃんと管理はしていたの? どういうこと? きちんと鍵はかけていたかということよ。
The air in the classroom chills at the president's words. It's because she says it not so much like a question, but with a tone of accusation.
ま、責任の所在になるよな。朝夕の食事の際に世話をしているわ。今朝も世話をして、きちんと鍵をかけてきた。本当なの？八重垣さん。
She addresses me imperiously, and I respond. That's a pointless question. Shouldn't we go check first? It's a pointless question. That's the choice. Okay.
あまり意味のない質問だぞ。
The words slip out before I can stop them.
意味がないってどういうこと? そう形式ばむのよ。飼育小屋の鍵は南京錠とかきちんとした施錠が必要なものじゃない。誰でも開けられる簡易錠だ。 知ってるだろ?
The president nods, accepting my explanation.
で、ウサギがいないって見つけたのは...
The twins gingerly raise their hands.
ウサギは基本隠れているんだし、いないって言うからには飼育小屋の中に入って調べたんだろ?
Okay, we're going all detective mode into the mystery of the missing bunnies.
そうです。
They both nod. Debating whether or not the pen was locked is hardly a productive approach, and making that point seems to have swept away some of their doubts.
とにかく見てみなきゃ話にならない。とりあえず現場に行ってみようぜ。
I mean, why is the fact that the pen was locked or not even a question? Because if the twins went inside, then I guess they have to go inside by first unlocking it if it was locked. So you would know if it was locked or unlocked. Okay, I'm confused. Locked pen. A small group of us head out. We cross the gardens and arrive at the rabbit's pen.
開けるわよ。
She checks that the door is locked, then opens the catch and goes inside. Although there are just a few of us here, the pen still isn't big enough for everyone to fit inside. There's the Sasaki twins, who discovered that the rabbits were missing, Hanabishi, the class president, and Takasaki, who's under suspicion, and so are Shirahane. Why is only Chidori under suspicion? Isn't she doing it together with Erika, or... I'm confused. I take up position in front of the door, blocking it off. It's interesting that they're using the art from when the bunnies were there. So we see bunnies, but we have to imagine that they're not there. It's kind of like the opposite of the cat box. It's the rabbit pen. What the heck? Shirahane is gazing at the adult rabbits. Ah, okay, so the adults are fine, it's the babies that are missing. Okay. Got it. So she's gazing at the adult rabbits, yet her eyes narrowed sadly. The president, evidently holding back her anger towards Takasaki, is watching her amitié partner restlessly.
Takasakiに強く出たのも白羽絡みだろうしな。
Ah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And she'll also be aware that Shirahane had been soothing the pain of Mayuri Kosaka's disappearance by caring for the rabbits. That's probably why she got so emotional.
ちゃんと7はいるじゃない。
Takasaki does a quick head count, but the twins cry out in response.
親ウサギがいなくなったんじゃないんだってば。子ウサギだよ。4はいるはずが2羽しか見つからないのですよ。
The way you were expressing yourselves earlier, it sounded as if all the rabbits were gone. Okay, so 2 are missing. Fine. This news hits me hard, and I give the place a good scan myself. Their faces pale, Shirahane and the president hurriedly search around in the dry hay.
お願い、みんなも探して。
At her plea, those waiting outside also crowd into the pen. I move back so as not to get in their way.
どうしてあんなに焦っているの？脅かすなよ。お前はかめるんだから探してこいよ。あれ以上は飼育小屋の中に入れないわ。それより私の質問に答えて。
She's staring at the president with a furrowed brow, apparently unable to understand the reason she's so flustered.
世話してたから分かってるだろうが、子ウサギはまだ満足に動けるような状態じゃなかっただろ。ええ、だから。
That means someone took them. They didn't just go on an adventure themselves. I sigh at her total inability to put 2 and 2 together.
これが親ウサギなら、鍵がかかってなかったから逃げ出した。で済むが、よちよち歩きの子ウサギが連れ立って逃げ出すわけがないだろ。
For some reason, Takasaki claps her hands together admiringly in response.
つまり、誰かが逃がしたと考えているのね。持ち出したか。最悪。野犬にやられたとか想像しちまったんじゃねえの？
Please don't put those images into my head, okay? I just want to imagine that someone is really infatuated with baby bunnies and wanted to, I don't know, spend an afternoon with them or something. Just innocently and cutely. Please, please, no. I'd secretly been holding on to the idea that they were still in the hay somewhere, but everyone's currently digging through it hurriedly. And judging from how frantic the president is, I don't think they're going to find them here. I imagine that no one wants to give up hope in front of Shirahane, but the end of our lunch break is fast approaching. After searching for a while, the president calls out to the others and exits the pen. Her expression is grim. The twins seem to have taken the hint from the president's gloomy demeanor. They brace themselves, but keep their mouths shut. The silence stretches on.
Takasaki-san, 今朝世話をしてから、この飼育小屋へは来ていないわよね。ええ、それが何？おいおいおい。
It isn't like her to arbitrarily pin the blame like this. Her words are pregnant with the implication that Takasaki might secretly have unlocked the door. No, that she might have taken the baby rabbits away herself. Why would she do that? Her highly suspicious tone obviously got through to our classmates, and they all start staring at Takasaki and me. This is ridiculous! She was entrusted to do this for a whole month. And like, if she failed and if the bunnies disappeared, then that would reflect poorly onto her. No? Like, why would she put herself in that position? That's ridiculous. Who'd have thought it would feel this dreadful to be suspected without any basis for something you have absolutely no knowledge of? I don't care if people don't like me. I'm a misanthrope, after all. I'm not so selfish as to crave affection from people I myself dislike. However, hearing the whispers of my classmates... No. It's not that the dirty looks from my classmates are pissing me off. It's that despondent expression of hers, hovering behind the rest of them. Shirahane may get the wrong impression of me. The moment I consider that, my blood starts to boil. Oh, it's so cute! She cares what Suo thinks about her. Yeah, maybe it's something like that, Bancho. These mysteries always appear to be bigger than what they actually are, because in the absence of knowledge, the mind is left to wonder, and it wanders far, far away from what is actually happening, yeah. There's likely a very simple explanation for it, but yeah, we'll get there, I hope. I'm angry. I nod in response to her question. Ooh, a new detective. It's quite the declaration. I know I'm flying too close to the sun here, and may get burnt. It's a silly hope of mine. I'm sure it's doomed to fall flat. Well, perhaps not silly, but... I mutter to myself as I gaze out through the open window at the blue moon. I'd declared in front of my classmates that I would handle the incident of the missing baby rabbits. To be honest, I'm not sure myself that it would be possible to find them still. But the president, in fact all of my classmates, won't easily forgive me if I come back empty-handed. If someone is connected to the baby rabbit's disappearance, then I have to finger them as the culprit. If it was just an accident, then simply explaining the cause or what led to it would be an obvious compromise to reach for. But either way, identifying what happened is going to be quite a hassle. Giving up already? So easily? Come on. That gloomy expression of hers. When I'd caught the shadow of despair in that look, I'd run my mouth off and said I'd settle things. What must have come over me in that moment? My doubts dispersed at the sound of a knock at the door.
どうぞ。ごきげんよう、八重垣さん。お食事は済んだかしら?
Sister Basket enters the room, wearing her usual gentle expression. It soothes me in a moment of mild irritation to see her unchanged demeanor.
はい、もうすでに。そう。あら、高崎さんは？食器を下げに食堂へ。
Sister Basket tilts her head to one side, as though dismayed at my answer.
そうなの。せっかくだからご一緒にと思ったけれど。それではお風呂に行きましょうか。
It's a puzzling thing for her to come out with, and as though I really am Shirahane, I instantly think of a line from a movie. It's Austin Powers' catchphrase. Groovy, baby, yeah. Fuck. How does that fit in this context? What?
どうしたの、八重垣さん?
Please don't clip this. I feel beaten down by the sheer vexatiousness of everything, but I swallow my words and briefly shake my head.
きっと見つかるわ。
Sister Basket suddenly says, "We'd never clip it." Oh,
知っているんですか?
My eyes meet Sister Basket's, and then as she carefully washes my legs, they travel down to her voluptuous chest. The two mounds sway beneath her bath towel as she strokes up and down. Like a cat, I follow her motion. Their motion. With my eyes.
佐々木さんが教えてくれたわ。
I'd rather follow anything else, please. Although I'm used to this degree of care by now, recently there have been moments when I've become strangely hyper-aware of it. I glance down at my own meager chest and sigh. I mutter in response.
バスキや教諭から注意していてくれと頼まれていたのに申し訳ありません。話は佐々木さんたちから聞いたと言ったでしょ。誰が悪いということでもないわ。
It doesn't seem like she intends to scold me.
そうですが。花火師さんに自分が見つけ出すと言ったのよね。はい。私はね、その言葉を聞いて感動したの。は？花火師さんと高崎さんが堅牢な雰囲気になって、それを止めるために見つけてみせると言ったのですもの。アミティエ選考試験での結果は間違ってはいなかったのね。高崎さんのために身を挺してかばえるだなんて。それは。はい。
She gazes at me with a bright, amiable smile. I really don't have the heart to be mean to her.
真ん中の姉に似てるんだよ。
Their personalities are poles apart, but the way they have of talking you into things, or overriding what you say, is kind of the same. I heave my umpteenth sigh of the day.
でも、アミティエを二人で探すのでしょ？これを機会にもっと仲良くなれれば良いですね。いえ、多分私一人で探すことになると。
The topic hadn't arisen after we'd returned to our room, nor during dinner. Oh, interesting. She probably wants to know why. Yeah, I want to know why too. I would expect them to talk about it. She looks restlessly into my eyes. Seeing the unease clouding those golden eyes of hers, I choose the words I'm sure she wants to hear.
委員長には私に預けてくれないかと頼んできたんです。だからアミティエの手を借りるのは少し違う気がしまして。そう ですか。でも危ないわ。いや、危険な場所には行けやしませんよ。でも探すとしたら。
Her beautiful brows furrow as she thinks of the deep forest encircling the academy. I greet this maternal concern of hers with a wry smile.
それじゃ、バスキア教諭がついてきてくださいよ。
I can't help myself. She blinks at me and I'm about to tell her that I'm just okaying when... She claps her hands together, her cheeks flushed.
そうだわ。矢垣さんの頼みですもの。私もコウサギを探す件お手伝いします。
She has these moments where she's so innocent and cute and almost childlike. She says,
いや、ほんの冗談ね。不謹慎だけれどワクワクしますね。
ワクワク。
矢垣さん。
She's beaming at me like a little girl.
お願いします。
Sister Basket. Yeah. I have no choice but to answer like that. The early summer breeze ruffles the flowers and the smiling Sister Basket's bangs. No, I knew from the get-go that she wasn't the kind of person to make jokes. It's been like pulling teeth, but I've been gathering bits of information here and there between classes. And then Sister Basket had come up to me with a broad smile on her face, just as I was about to leave the classroom after the last lesson of the day, and launch into my full-scale investigation.
それで、どこを調べるの、八重垣さん？そうですね。
For some reason this is exciting. I think this is the first time she's so directly involved in the mystery. I wonder how that would go. I actually really like the bad scenes in this game. I mean, when we get past the whole looking at body parts they are quite wholesome, yeah. But とりあえず第一発見者に話を聞いてみようと思います。I tell her. Our interviewee starts speaking a little hesitantly.
それでコウサギさんがいなくなった時のことを話せばいいんだよね。
The elder Sasaki sister looks nervously at me. No, it's Sister Basket, who's smiling beside me.
ああ、あの時はただいないって騒いだだけだからな。細かく教えてくれ。わかったよ。一つ質問していい？ダメだ。私もなんでこうなっているか説明しにくい。お互いさっさと済ませようぜ。
Looking at the smiling Sister Basket, she seems to have gotten the hint. Sasaki beckons to her sister, who's been hanging back and watching, and whispers something to her.
了解ですよ。私としても早く見つけてほしいですからね。では、いないと分かった時のことを話します。昨日の朝、いちご姉はウサギのお世話に行くことができたのですが、お昼はいちご姉よりも早く食事をし終え。
You mean go play with them? I'm tempted to interject, but faced with the seriousness of Sister Basket and the elder Sasaki sister, I listen quietly and urge her on.
急いで昼食をとってから向かったので、飼育小屋には私以外まだ誰もいませんでした。あら？その言い方だと他の生徒もよく来ているように聞こえるわ。その捉え方で合っていますよ。佐々木姉妹だけじゃなく、クラスメイトたちが様子を見にちょくちょく来ていましたからね。そうなの。
Sister Basket tilts her head slightly. Probably curious about her demeanor, the younger Sasaki sister butts in.
何か気になるんですか？以前、
飼育小屋のあたりを巡回していてもクラスの皆さんはあまり見かけたことがなかったので。
それは今まで2年生が担当だったからですよ。
はい。
うさぎさんがいることは知っていたんですけど、2年生の人たちが世話をしていると聞いて、その言い方は悪いですけど萎縮していたんです。知っている部の先輩ならいいですけど、違う場合は怒られるかもって。それで
She meets my eyes.
罰則で八重垣ちゃんたちが担当になったので敷居が低くなったと言いますか。
So, an unknown upperclassman presents a greater hurdle than an eccentric like me. Sister Basket's head is still tilted to one side in curiosity. Perhaps she doesn't understand the sentiment.
脱線したな。続けてくれ。はい。うさぎさんたちの食事がまだだったので、飼育小屋の隣にある干し草を抱えて中へ入って、私が来たってわけ。そこで世話をしていたら、あれって。頭数が少ないってことに気づいたのか。4羽いるはずなのに2羽しかいなくて、だから探していたんだけど見つからないので、これはおかしいと。で、教室に駆け込んできたってわけか。
They both nod. I look across to Sister Basket, whose brow is intensely furrowed.
いえ、ただ生まれた子ウサギが4羽だったんだなって。
She asked me to take on the job without knowing any of the details, although I can't help but think.
これは世話してるからこそ把握してるってやつか。
To be honest, if I hadn't been involved in that myself, I'd probably have heard that some baby rabbits had been born, but I doubt I'd have found out how many unless I'd stuck my nose in any further.
他には？
She asks me.
実はお前たちも独自で子ウサギの件を調べてるって聞いたんだが。
She's at a total loss for words. You've been found out, Missy. Oh, hey, hi, Kazi.
独自情報を持っていたら提供してもらいたいんだ。頼む。
Knowing the Sasaki sisters, they were sure to be sticking their noses into the matter. It had been a tricky question, and it appears to have succeeded in drawing the truth from them. I stare hard into her eyes.
お願い、佐々木さん。
Sister Basket also bows her head.
おかしいな。
Usually, if she had any information of her own, she'd share it boastfully. So the fact that she can't talk about it means...
すみません、バスキア教諭。この後現場を見て回るときに使おうと思っていた道具を忘れてしまったんです。私のカバンの中に入っているのですが、取ってきてもらえますか？話は先に聞いておくので、待ち合わせは10分後に学者前ってことで。わか
ったわ。なんだか探偵の助手みたいですね。
She's so pure. She smiles brightly. In contrast, the Sasaki sisters' expressions are tense. This isn't what I signed up for, I think to myself.
まずは現場を探してみようということですね。
I wanted to know what she was gonna ask them or what they were gonna say. Why did they cut away? With a sideways glance at the strangely excited Sister Basket, I surveyed the rabbit pen.
ここまで来て網に穴が開いてるとかだったら笑うんだが。
八重垣さん？
いえ、野犬が襲ったって可能性もありますからね。
Please no, let's not go back to that idea. Let's just put a pin in it and set it to the side. Detective Dahlia, hey, yeah. Indeed, she's really embracing the role. With Sister Basket pushing me around, I used the magnifying glass from the bag she brought me to examine the enclosure carefully.
しかし、予想通りだったな。
From the twins' reluctance to talk, I'd figured that it was either out of consideration for a friend, or that it was something they found difficult to say in front of either me or Sister Basket. Looks like I was right. Erika is the only smart person here, just like Inomineko. Oh, man.
まさかバスキア教諭に疑いがかかっているってのは予想外だったよな。
When I'd noticed her expressions stiffen, their expressions stiffen at the sight of her, I'd wondered if perhaps there was something they couldn't say in front of her, but I'd never have imagined that they considered her a suspect in the baby bunny's disappearance. Wait, what?
とは言っても
Dahlia the bunny napper? No, I can't imagine that.
つまりお前たちは子ウサギがあんまり可愛いから誰か自室へ持って帰ったと考えたわけなんだ。
That was my idea. And indeed, it is in tune with what the sisters would think. It really fits them.
うん、連れて行ってひどいことをするような人はいないだろうし、だからついお部屋へ連れ帰っちゃったんじゃないかなって思ったのです。変質者がストレス発散でってとか思わなかったのか？よく聞く話だろ。
I am drawing a blank as to what that might mean. And I wanted to keep it a blank. Let's move on.
人里離れている場所ですし、あの学院の生徒でそんな悪さをする人はいないですよ。うん、だから私的に聞いて回ったんだ。部屋にウサギを隠してる人はいないかって。
Really?
見つからなかっただろ。
Of course they didn't. Even if they did come across the person hiding them, no one would be idiotic enough to admit to being the culprit just like that.
でもね、リンゴが尋ね方を変えようって言ったんだ。絶対に部屋に入れてくれない生徒っているって。
There's a few instances of someone breaking into the rabbit pen to hurt, kill them in anime manga vians. Okay. Yeah. This is a chill visual novel. I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure. I'll believe. Oh gosh. Oh, really? I couldn't imagine her doing that. I couldn't. Maybe you know her better than we do, but seems like the younger ones got some smarts.
それで話を聞いていくうちに生徒じゃなくバスキア教諭が絶対に部屋を見せないって噂に行き着いたと。
Okay.
そう、ダリア先生なら部屋に招いて競技の話だとかしそうなのにおかしくない？
In her room? No, I don't think so.
ま、確かにやりそうな感じはするわな。
It's such a believable scenario. I immediately start picturing it myself. No, that doesn't really connect in my head, because if this is what she normally does, it means this has been a thing that's been happening for a longer time, and it's not just now happening because the bunnies have disappeared. So I don't know if it immediately follows that she should be suspected. Okay. I really don't think this is it. I know, I can't. Anyway, the younger Sasaki twin looks around before bringing her lips close to my ear.
それと噂ですけどね、ダリア先生の部屋の前で羊の鳴き声を聞いた生徒がいるらしいのですよ。
Bleating? She said Hitsuji. Isn't that sheep, or am I don't know what bleating is.
つまりウサギと言わずバスキア教諭は動物好きで部屋に引っ張り込んでるって話か。信じるか信じないかは八重垣ちゃん次第ですよ。 妙なセリフで締めるのは構わないけどな。この話、他の生徒たちに広めてないよな。
That is like a Sasaki twins spin of things. No, that I can't take it seriously. Time skip to the future. Bunny from 19 years ago. Vengeance. Oh gosh.
嫌ですね。そうだよ。信用してよ、八重垣ちゃん。
It's not about not trusting you, right? Because it's not about necessarily doubting these little puzzle pieces that you've gathered. It's just about how you put it together. That it's very far out there as usual. And it's endearing in a way that they have such an active imagination. But I fully doubt that this is it. I can't help but sigh at how absurdly misguided the path they're headed down is. Okay. Oh, gosh.
破損した箇所はないようですね。
Sister Basket speaks right into my ear, and I put the conversation at the cooking club to one side, nodding my agreement with her.
穴が開いてたり、破損している箇所はなさそうだ。
ええ。
She nods, and I suddenly have the urge to interrogate her. However,
あなたが犯人ですかなんて、高崎みたいな真似はできないしな。
and personally, I imagine that even if she did take them home with her out of love for animals, she'd probably come clean to everyone straight away and apologize, judging by her personality. No.
もしかしたら言えない理由でも。
何の理由ですか？
Sister Basket overhears my murmurings, and I gloss over it with a vague smile.
面倒だな。
It's a bit late for it now, but I sympathize with Shirahane, who's already solved several mysteries like this. She did a good job to investigate all of them without once giving up.
何かわかりましたか？
先ほどの佐々木姉妹の証言から、私たちが世話をした朝7時半からこの間に子ウサギが消えたということになりますが。
So we have a 5-hour time span.
ほぼ午前中の間の時間すべてですか？
Implicit in her troubled look is a concern that it will be difficult to narrow down the culprit based on that time frame.
そうです。学者からこの飼育小屋に向かうなら中庭を通らなければいけませんよね。
そうですが、何か？
昨日は庭師の方が中庭の剪定をなさっていたのです。一日中作業していたそうですから。
Oh, so they might have seen something. Okay, I follow.
午前中誰が通ったか聞けば絞れる。
She nods, clasping her hands together in joy. It's certainly an effective screening method.
お手柄ですね。
I bet Suo is the culprit this time. Oh, that would be a how the turntables moment.
そう、お役に立てたかしら。
But I don't know. Because she really seemed to care about them, so I don't think she would like take them out of their environment, away from the adult rabbits that care for them and stuff, just to appease the pain in her heart. I don't know. She's a little. Maybe I have a mental image of her that's a bit different from yours, but I think she's too gentle to do that.
ええ。
She takes hold of my hand, her cheeks flushed.
よかった。
She murmurs her contentment. As she leans in close, her rich, womanly scent wafts over me. I don't like when I have to read those sentences. They're so, like, they're unnecessary. Why do I have to do it? I'm cautious of her in the way that I might be of someone of the opposite sex. I start to sweat.
風呂場じゃないってのに。
As she crouches down so as to be at eye level with me, her knees lift her full breasts. I don't quite know where to look, and I don't quite know how to not read this. Ugh. I'm not Shirahane. I think of Shirahane, who'd been dating Mairi Kosaka, the girl who disappeared in the spring. A vision of her face pops into my head, and my flushed body calms. Then, I suddenly hear a cute little sneeze, and find myself staring right into Sister Basket's face. It was the bunnies!
いや、別に恥ずかしがることじゃないでしょ。生理現象ですし。本当に違います。
I can't help but reflect on how cute Sister Basket looks with her bright red face. What are you, a teenager? Oh my god, Sister Basket. And then I'm embarrassed at myself for thinking it. Then... Oi! I hear the sneeze again. Seems like Bancho might have been onto something. We both look at one another. Since each of us is looking the other in the eye, who might have sneezed? No, it's the Golden Witch of Rokkenjima, just like she was just floating around as the butterfly materialized for a moment to sneeze and then went away. The simplest answer is the other creatures that are around, no? After staring in the direction the sneeze had come from for a moment, I spot one of the rabbits snuffling. I'm sure it's adorable. She covers her mouth with her hand as she continues to giggle uncontrollably. I suppose this is the first time I've heard a rabbit sneeze myself. Gazing at the snuffling rabbit, I feel something tugging at the corner of my mind. Something important.
Yaegaki-san, どうしたの？怖い顔して。
何でもありません。先生、その庭師の方に話を聞きたいのですけど。
そうね。
She smiles and claps her hands together, overjoyed to recall my praise of her idea. Again, the vibe she's giving off reminds me of my second oldest sister. Usually, it would bring to mind thoughts of home, which I don't particularly miss. However, I'll verify that the answer which has been nagging at me, the solution I've cobbled together, is correct. The culprit that the president told me to find. If my guess is right, it's a decent solution, which could also serve as a form of payback. But it might have unintended consequences.
それでは行きましょうか。
What would those be, I wonder? As Sister Basket pushes my wheelchair along, I look up at the high columns of cloud, gravid with rain. Now I wonder how I should broach it with them. The day after I've deduced who the culprit is. I'm pushing my wheelchair along while enduring the grumblings of my empty stomach. It's the hungriest time of the day, the period just before lunch. Next we have Bible study. I murmur to myself, making my way to the chapel. Still, it's annoying when I have a hard task ahead of me to have to face it on an empty stomach. I pass through the entrance hall and exit the school building. The midday sun is shining down hard and bright on the surrounding greenery. As I'm gazing at the school building, also glittering in the light, a thought suddenly occurs to me. Although it seems like such a long time ago, it hasn't even been a month since the Yuzuriha Yatsushiro incident. With a deep sigh, I reflect on how similar the situation I'm in now is to that earlier occurrence. I recall my bookworm buddy stepping up in front of everyone despite her shyness in order to clear her friend's name. I smile that feline smile of mine again.
さて、本番に入る前に一つリハーサルといくかね。
Oh. Mystery solving mode. First things first. How did the incident begin? I can't reveal the solution to the case before my classmates without defining this primary problem. Rather than looking for the truth, I'm focused on resolving this issue. But that makes it all the more necessary to ascertain what really happened. Was the disappearance of the rabbits an accident, or was it intentional? It was done intentionally, it was an accident. It was due to natural causes like a wild animal. I think it was intentional. It wasn't accident or natural causes. Let's see, what is... It was an accident! Damn it! Okay. How was it an accident? Okay, that's interesting. Thinking pose. Okay. It was an accident. Alright. Right. In looking for some resolution to this case, an element of human error has to be assumed. Or rather, someone made a mistake by unknowingly giving a false report of the rabbit's disappearance. Ah, this kind of accident, you mean? Okay, okay. I have to call that person out and settle this once and for all. Who falsely reported the rabbit's disappearance? The Sasaki sisters, Sister Basket, Chidori, Takasaki. Wow. Wow. It's Chidori. That's the option. What? Why would she do that? Going over the notes in my head, I think I need one more key detail to convince the others. Why? Why did you do it, Chidori? Okay. The pain has to be doled out evenly. I'll have to dilute this deadly poison until it's a mild irritant that will at worst upset their stomachs. Which of these is connected to the disappearance of the rabbits? Sister Basket, upperclassmen who took care of them previously, wild dogs, none of these. The rabbits are still in the closet, typical Erika. Oh, I love it, I love it. Sister Basket, upperclassmen who took them. It's not wild dogs. I refuse to believe it's the wild dogs, okay? Okay. Sister Basket seems completely clueless and innocent. I believe thoroughly in her cluelessness. Upperclassmen who took care of them previously. I don't know. If they were no longer in charge with taking care of them, why would they suddenly come by and swoop the bunnies? I don't know. None of the first three speaks to me on a particular level. It seems it's none of these. I think, if I'm reading the guide right... By the way, Chidorin, can you give me a hand to explain what it means when it says save 1, save 2, save 3? What are those? Save 1. None of these. I guess that's the one that fits here. It's none of that. Okay.
ま、こんなところか。
Once I've finished putting it all together in my head, I send a glare up at the midday sun, then set off for the chapel. The final note of Takasaki's rendition of the Ave Maria lingers in the air. Ah, okay. Sure. I can make a save here. I'll override the slot that I accidentally made double last time. Okay. I'll make a save just in case. Alright.
ありがとうございます、高崎さん。
Sister Basket says this just as she did before.
あの日の繰り返しみたいだな。
The day we were made to look after the rabbits, when Takasaki overheard mention of Mayuri Kosaka and kept on prying about her until things turned ugly. The differences being the strength of the applause and the way the looks directed her way have changed from one of admiration to clear hostility. Aye. After her performance, Takasaki steps down from the chancel and returns to us, looking up at Sister Basket as the latter starts lecturing. It's that same haughty gaze.
こいつがさっさと打ち明けていたら。
I smile wryly, aware that I'm taking her to task in my mind.
何を笑っているの？笑っていない。笑っているんだよ。
She frowns in incomprehension. Of course, it's a matter of nuance. She's not going to understand.
では何か質問のある人はいませんか？
A few students raise their hands, as do I.
あら、嬉しいですね。それでは八重垣さん。
She's the epitome of virtue. I speak out in a clear voice, my hand still raised.
子ウサギが消えた件が解決しましたので、ここで述べさせてもらってもいいですか？
After my declaration, there's a brief silence. Then, Sister Basket's voice rings out in the chapel, more excited than usual.
静まりなさい。神の御前ですよ。
Oh, okay, Sister Basket. Sorry. The whispers had been faint, but they are quelled completely by Sister Basket's decisive command.
子ウサギが見つかったの？
The president presses me. The reason she's so excited,
白羽。
she probably imagines that her Amitia partner will find some relief in my report. Although the president shuts her mouth at Sister Basket's rebuke, her eyes remain on me imploringly. Erika equals God.
この場を借りて、事の次第を話してもよろしいでしょうか、シスター。
Ooh. A rare frown mars her face, and she glances up at the figure of Christ on the cross.
わかりました。
She nods. I wheel my chair into the space between where my classmates are seated and where Sister Basket's standing on the stage. I gaze out at the Sasaki twins, my bookworm buddy, Rika Hanabishi, Chidori Takasaki, the new transfer students, and all my other classmates who are looking at me half with animosity and half with curiosity, like I'm some interesting plaything.
そもそも。
They really like to use the word plaything in translations. I don't know if that's really fitting. I don't know, I always find it very weird when I have to read it, but okay.
そもそも、この事件に明確な犯人はいないんだ。
That's where I begin.
それってどういうこと？もしかして野犬に襲われちゃったってこと？
Although Sasaki's suggestion causes a wave of muttering, it dies away when I spread my arms in a gesture of rebuttal.
飼育小屋で真相を明かすと約束してから、佐々木の言うように野犬の仕業かもと飼育小屋の周りを調べて回ったり、生徒ら、そしてこの学院に従事している者たちからいろいろと話を聞いて回ったよ。何か分かったのね。
Ignoring the president's interjection, I tell them that we'll first look back on the events of the day the incident occurred. I relayed the time frame I'd heard from the Sasaki sisters. My strange story, hardly fit for a church, echoes through the otherwise silent chapel. Bea is in love. She is very cool. I agree.
おおよその流れは分かったわ。朝世話をした八重垣さんたち、そして昼食後に様子を見に行った佐々木さんたち。つまり八重垣さんたちが世話をし終わった7時半過ぎから佐々木さんたちが行くまでの12時半までに子ウサギが消えたということね。
I give her a light clap as a sign of my gratitude for summing it all up. Her eyes narrow slightly, perhaps in suspicion that I'm mocking her.
それってあの日午前中の間に 飼育小屋に行った人が犯人だということ？
Everyone in the class uses their break time to go and play with the rabbits. It's only natural that they'd turn their suspicion on one another. However,
誰が言ったのか、もう少し絞れそうなんだ。どういうこと？調べて回った結果、分かったんだけどさ。ウサギが消えた日、学舎前の庭園で剪定、庭師をしていた人がいたんだよ。あ、そういえば確かに作業してたね。
my classmates nod excitedly. During lunch break, everyone tumbles out of the school building and crosses the gardens on their way to the rabbit pen. They'd probably have seen the gardener then.
つまり、その庭師の人に聞けば、誰が通ったかわかるし、犯人が絞り込めるというわけですね。すごいじゃない。これで一気に解決ね。
The president makes clear her excitement as another wave of murmuring rises. But looking at the glum expression on Shirahane's face, I shake my head slightly.
確かにあの日、世話をしていたものから絞り込めるかもしれない。話通りならね。だがそいつは、佐々木が話してくれた話が本当だという大前提のものだ。嘘をついていないというお約束のもとでの話なんだよ。八重垣ちゃん？私たちは嘘をついてなんかいないですよ。
Ignoring the twins' clamoring, I declared that the reason the baby rabbits disappeared is so simple as to be mundane.
単純ですか？
Sister Basket, who hasn't joined in the conversation until now, asks me this as she soothes the Sasakis.
はい。これは故意的な事件ではなく、野犬が起こした事件でもない。人が悪意なく起こした事故だったんですよ。
事故なのですか？
ええ。ここにいるクラスメイトの大体の者が飼育小屋へ世話をしに来てくれた。だよな。
I look over the sea of faces, taking in a variety of expressions. From meek to suspicious, from those staring down at their feet to those glaring at me like I've upset them.
重度の人見知りの白羽がよく耐えたもんだ。
As I reflect on how often I end up in the minority, Shirahane pops into my head and I can't help but smile.
八重垣さん。
Fiddling with her braids, the president urges me on impatiently.
世話といっても、大体のことは高崎と私で行っていたので、みんなは餌を、干し草を飼育小屋の中へと持って行ってあげてた。それで間違いないよな。
My classmates nod their heads.
で、干し草を持って行ったみんなは、全員が全員、私が知っているだけでも、こうごっそりと持ち運んでいった。
全員って
全員は全員だよ。別におかしいことはない。みんなは2年生が世話をしていた時は来なかった。私たちが世話をしてから来だしただろ。その時、高崎が干し草をやっているのを見て、みんな、ああそういうものかって真似したのさ。
I demonstrate with the gesture and my classmates nod. There are some who aren't nodding, but they've probably cottoned on to what I've left unsaid so far. I look slowly over the assembled faces once more.
そして干し草をやる際に、子ウサギが紛れた。
Did I understand that correctly? Please no. Time briefly stands still. Everyone is dumbfounded, and then, after they've gotten over their moment of hesitation,
なんで、それっておかしくない？
they argue back even though they know full well that it does.
です。紛れるなんてこと。だって飼育小屋の隣に置いてある干し草をあげて、どうして？ 言ったろ。単純なことなんだよ。高崎の餌のやり方を見てみんな真似をした。でもな、干し草が湿ると食いつきが悪くなるって言うんで、食べ残った干し草はまた飼育小屋の隣へと日干しさせてたんだよ。つまり
Oh, okay.
何度も干し草を飼育小屋へ、余ったらその都度外に出して日干しさせる、繰り返していたことでコウサギが紛れてしまったってこと？
ああ、あいつら大きくなったって言ってもまだ手のひらサイズだろ。湿った干し草を乾かすんだから、ごそっと奥からかき出して飼育小屋の隣へと干し草を移動した。
Realizing that the rabbits are gone because of their own negligence, everyone falls silent, their faces deathly pale.
もともと飼育小屋から干し草を持ち出し乾かしたのは高崎だから。
If I were to try and pin blame, the fault is partially Takasaki's. But I can't bring myself to denounce her knowing that I'm also involved.
人が起こした事故。でも干し草を入れて出してを繰り返して起きた事故なら誰が起こしたかわかると思うわ。
子ウサギが消えた日の朝から午前中に飼育小屋へ行った生徒を割り出せばいいってことだろ。庭師の証言も得られそうだしな。
そうよね。
Her elation quickly tapers off. Because, long story short, she's realized that her suggestion amounts to pointing out exactly who among us is responsible for this accident. Yikes. She looks awkwardly up at Sister Basket, standing there calm and composed. The latter regards me with her topaz eyes. Forcing a smile, I try to ease the tension.
ま、そこで佐々木が話したことが大前提になっている。朝から午前中での事故が間違いだって話をしたのさ。
だってここは空気を読むところかもしれないですけど、やっぱり嘘は言ってないですよ。
I nod. The twins are looking at me in innocent confusion, having received a rather different response to the one they'd been expecting. Then, with a thrust of my chin, I indicate my métier partner. Despite being named as the prime suspect, she's acting like this has nothing to do with her.
嘘をついていたのはこいつ高崎千鳥だからな。
それって
Oof.
もしかしてさっきの話なら世話をするのが面倒でわざと干し草に紛れさせてということに。
I refuse to believe that.
そんなひどい。
Takasaki is staring hard at the point off to the side of me, neither confirming nor denying it. Hearing the hubbub start to grow, I remind everyone that I'd already said it was an accident.
こいつ高崎は嘘をついてたって自覚がなかったんだよ。そう思い込んでいただけなんだ。
ごめんなさい。私たちに分かるように言ってくださる？
嘘をついていたってのは大前提となった時間、朝7時半から正午12時半の間っていう消えてしまった時間だ。実際はウサギが消えたのは朝から正午ではなくずっと前に消えてしまっていたのさ。
Everyone, including the president and the Sasaki twins, turns to look at Takasaki, whose eyes have the same haughty look as ever.
それは朝コウサギがいたって証言が嘘で、もうその時にはいなかったってことだよね。
そうだ。
いたわ。
Takasaki glares at me and I let out a small sigh.
違うね。いたように見えたが正解だろ。
Facing Sister Basket up on stage, I announce to no one in particular that I myself only recently realized.
こいつは高崎千鳥はかなり目が悪いんだよ。
Oh. Perhaps she'd been expecting some grave confession, because the president suddenly seems to deflate.
みんなもこいつずいぶん目つきが悪いやつだなって思ったことなかったか？なんていうか睨むのが基本みたいなやつだって。
それは
At the president's words, everyone starts looking at one another and nodding, as though they'd been thinking the same thing all along. That constant haughty gaze.
私もそう思ったよ。とっつきにくいやつだなってさ。高崎、こいつが何本に見える？
What is she, drunk? I hold up my hand and raise some of my fingers. Takasaki glares, no, squints at them.
4本。
She says to the 3 fingers I'm holding up.
ま、こういうことだ。乱視だか遠視だか知らないけどな。こいつの言う板が信用できないのは分かっただろ？
Feeling her haughty eyes on me. No, that's not fair. Right now they indicate only a desire for the truth. I wheel away from the platform and back toward everyone.
目を細めていた？それじゃ思い違いをしていたってこと？
本人は嘘をついていたとは思っちゃいない。こいつは本当にそう思っていたんだ。
After my little monologue, a long silence descends on the chapel. After a while,
朝、確かにいたという発言が覆るのだとしたら、
もう誰が直接の犯人だとかは調べられないってことさ。
それは
その方がいいだろ。わかるよな、委員長。
catching my meaning, she nods, despite looking like she's just bitten into a lemon. Hey! I like lemons. I have one in my drink. That's not a bad thing for me.
こうさぎを消してしまう原因を作った犯人はわからないままの方がいい。
Even if it was an accident, who could bear the guilt of being solely responsible for the possibility of their deaths? Oh, I was fearing this word. I don't want to consider this scenario. Lemon fan club. Oh, you like lemons too, Bancho?
だから全員の責任として
Awesome, that's very
罪
healthy.
を薄めればいい。
Lots of vitamin C. Having sensed my intentions, the president and Sister Basket nod, their eyes downturned. I let out a short, deep sigh, relieved that this troublesome business is finally over. But then...
こうさぎ、死んじゃったのかな？
Ichiko... A whisper echoes through the quiet chapel.
いちごさん。
Words spoken out of guilt. They pierced the heart of every person there. They were tiny, infant creatures. Logically speaking,
お前は心配性だな。動物もののテレビとかで見たことないのかよ。草食動物は敵に狙われやすいから生後すぐ独り立ちするんだよ。そうじゃないと野生では生きられないんだ。わかる？
そうなのですか。
おうよ、世話してたんだから知ってたっての。高崎が首っ引きで飼育マニュアル読んでただろ。本好きとしては私も熟読したからな。
そうなんだ。それじゃ
ああ、生後10日もすれば離乳もするし、それに飼育小屋の近くは草もいっぱい生えてるだろ。今は夏場だから食い物には困らねえよ。案外狭い小屋暮らしよりのびのびやってるかもしれないぜ。
よかった。
the moment someone raises their voice, the heavy mood is dispelled like clouds breaking. The Sasaki sisters look at one another in relief, while the president clasps her hands together and mutters a prayer. Sister Basket also seems to be offering up a prayer, her eyes shut.
白羽。
I'd been thinking that my bookworm buddy must have been deeply upset by the baby rabbit's disappearance.
ありがとう。
They're faint, but I hear the words clearly. Feeling my face flush for some reason, I change the direction of my wheelchair. And my eyes meet those of my amitié partner, who's gazing at me in silence. She's never been able to pick up on social cues. At my words, she averts her gaze and looks up at the martyr on the cross. In the words of the Russian playwright Anton Chekhov, alright. If you say in the first chapter that there is a rifle hanging on the wall, in the second or third chapter it absolutely must go off. It's a dramatic principle that means you mustn't have any unnecessary or irrelevant elements to your story. I follow after the girl in my wheelchair, quite aware that my actions are basically pointless. But according to Chekhov, if you say in the first chapter that there is a rifle hanging on the wall, in the second or third chapter it absolutely must go off. That's how it goes. The case of the disappearing bunnies has been resolved, but some mysteries still remain. The issues I was hoping to settle have been all settled, and any misunderstandings cleared up. So this is... I don't really know who or what I'm or what I'm doing this for. I just know that I want to interrogate the girl who slipped out of the dormitory and is now walking along ahead of me. I want to ask her the whereabouts of the gun. I continue tailing her, making sure to keep my distance. As I'd expected, she makes her way not toward the school, but along the little path leading over to the town. Where does a wise man hide a leaf? In the forest. But heading somewhere out of sight is usually best, of course. As I watch her walking along, I think to myself about why I'm doing this. I'd originally deduced that the rabbit's disappearance stemmed from an error on everyone's part. Oh god. That was a bluff! It was a conclusion I'd landed on so that everyone might share the pain equally. The real reason? The truth had come to me thanks to a niggling doubt that kept tugging at the corners of my mind. All my suspicions had eventually coalesced into a clear image of what really happened. The reason behind the disappearance of the rabbits. Haha! The rabbits had fallen ill, Sister Basket kidnapped them, Rika Hanabishi kidnapped them. I doubt anyone kidnapped them, so yeah, it's the first one. Another twist! Yeah. A twist of lemon, perhaps? I'm sorry, I really like lemons. Right, so I think that's it, right? Yeah, okay. Look, Bancho, you are absolutely on the money. Right, working from that basis, I can follow the thread of logic. The motive is still unclear, but it works as a reason for her to hide the rabbits. Yes, her. Who is the culprit behind the rabbit's disappearance? I'm Galaxy Brain. Good job. Chidori Takasaki, Sister Basket, Rika Hanabishi. I guess it's Chidori again, right? That's why she told her not to say anything, like... Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to make a save too. Okay. Just a sec. Save. Alright. Chidori. Chidori, why are you the culprit? The lemon skin. Oh, I don't. I don't necessarily buy the bio ones. What even is that translation in English? Right now I can't find it. But I don't know what they're sprayed with, if they're sprayed with anything, so I don't really. But if I make any sort of... if I bake anything that needs like lemon peel in it, I will do it, but I will buy the bio ones so that they're likely less bad for you, I guess. Yeah. I think they even say in some supermarkets to be careful with like consuming the peel of oranges and lemons. So yeah. Damn it. I'm sorry to have disappointed you. In my book, I've loved lemons my entire life. I do know that you can make, this is actually a cool thing, you can make, is it jam or does it have a different name? I guess jam, out of the peels. And that is delicious. I've had that. That, yes, absolutely, 100%. Okay. The image in my head becomes crystal clear. I have to ask her why she did it. I see her cutting down a side path as I'd expected, and I push my chair forward to turn off after her. Marmalade too, yeah. I am manifesting another food scene. Well, you know, it's gonna happen eventually anyway, so at least this is of our own making and we can leave with it, right? We have no one else to blame but ourselves. Right. She's standing by the trunk of some giant tree. Aww. Cute. In the golden light of the sun. That's cute. And the music is like... kind of like music box notes. That's so cute. Gazing down at its roots, dipped in the rays of the setting sun, her expression looks just as annoyed as ever. But she's not straining her eyes. It's like she's puzzled and irritated at herself for what she's doing, confused of her own emotions.
Takasaki.
I call out her name and her eyes narrow softly like she is meeting an old friend.
Yeah. それこそ干渉が見せているだけだ。
I make my way toward her, navigating the uneven ground with care.
ライフルの回収に来たぜ。
Saying that so out of context, she's gonna be like, huh? I declare.
何を言っているの？いや、それこそこっちの話ってやつか。まあなんだ、座りが悪いからさ。なんであんな真似をしたのか聞きに来たんだよ。
Standing there next to the tree, Takasaki doesn't respond. She just stares intently at me, as though trying to read my intentions from the look on my face.
ここに私がいる時点でわかるだろ。お前がさらった子ウサギの件だよ。あの話は済んだことでしょ？ああ、対外的にはな。あの結末は私が望んだことだ。でも、真相ってやつも明かしておかないと座りが悪い。なあ、高崎。いなくなった2羽の子ウサギはもう亡くなっているんだろ。
She doesn't seem to want to talk about the incident, assuming it's all finished with. She remains silent as I bring us back to the parts that don't add up, to Chekhov's gun.
クラスメイトらへ話した。外に出した干し草に紛れて子ウサギが逃げてしまったってのはデタラメだ。
Yeah, the part where she was saying, no, I read in the book, they can fend for themselves already, they're gonna be fine. I was also, You're just saying that to make them feel better. Yeah, that part, yeah.
だとすると、いついなくなったかってことがやっぱり気になるよな。正直、いつ消えたかなんて確かなことはわからない。でもな、頭の中の付箋をたぐっていった結果。
One thing had stuck out to me. I stroked my hand over the cover of the book sitting in my lap, illuminated by the light of the westerly sun.
私たちが疑われることとなってから、学院内に何か手がかりになるものはないか探した。そこで、くしゃみを聞いた。ウサギのだ。飼ったことはないから、初めはそんなこともあるんだなと思っていたが、とある示唆を得た。
I hold up the book to show her. It's the animal care manual she'd constantly had on hand.
ウサギのくしゃみについてだがな。スナッフルという症状の項目でこうあったよ。パスツレラという細菌による感染症。副鼻腔に感染すればくしゃみを起こし、内耳に感染すれば痙攣を起こす。さらに内臓に感染すれば死に至るような病態を示す。
I really hope that this wouldn't end in dead bunnies. Come on, don't be so depressing. Takasaki shows no sign of emotion as I read out the contents of the book. I place it back down on my knees and let out a quiet, lengthy sigh.
生体なら元気になれば症状が治まることはあるらしいが、老体や子ウサギのような容体ならどうだ。こいつは感染症だ。なあ高崎、お前、消失の前日に子ウサギが亡くなっていたのを見つけて埋葬したんだろ。
My Amitia partner maintains her silence even in the face of this charge. It's like she thinks that if she just keeps quiet, everything will resolve itself.
今思えば、くしゃみをしだした親ウサギと子ウサギを離して隔離していたし。バスキア教諭。あ？バスキア教諭の件はどうなったの？あの人が怪しいという噂もあったじゃない。
I figured she'd ask me about that. Actually, I thought she'd bring it up in the chapel when I'd won over our classmates.
さすがに面と向かって担当教諭が怪しいなんて言えなかっただけだろうが。
Of course, I did look into the issue with Sister Basket. The result of my investigation?
あまり面白い話じゃないんだがね。へえ、どんなつまらない話なのかしら。
After I'd heard about the incident from the twins, I'd immediately gone to verify it with my own eyes. The rooms that the sisters live in seem pretty ancient compared to ours. The lock was old and easy to open.
呆れた。勝手に入ったの？
I was about to say, what? I mean, she's Erika after all. There's no locked room that she can't break open. Of course, casual trespassing.
雑貨屋に置いてある金庫の錠前のようなチャチな作りだったからな。楽勝だったよ。
My brief obsession with lockpicking paid off. Guess it's good to find a practical use for your hobbies. Wink.
部屋の中に踏み入ってすぐ、部屋に招きたがらない理由ってやつが分かったよ。
What do you mean, Banjo?
羊でも飼っていたわけ？
A sheep. See, I heard that right. Hitsuji it's a sheep. Takasaki must have heard the rumor about the bleating sound too. So that's what the sounds that sheep make is called in English? Bleating. Okay, I did not know that one. But I shake my head and tell her it was probably just that she was embarrassed.
何が？その、こいつはプライベートなことだ。他言無用だぞ。
I would kind of feel bad to hear it, to be honest. She has a personal reason, that's all I need to know. I really don't, yeah.
問答無用で踏みにじっているあなたに言われたくないけど、黙っているわ。
Takasaki's expression doesn't change when I tell her how the whole of Sister Basket's room was filled with teddy bears. Aww. It's okay. I feel her. Erika's got too much swagger.
なんですって？何度も言わせるのは。ま、年齢のことを考えると招いてバレるのも恥ずかしかったんだろうよ。それと羊の鳴き声はグローラー。
I'm relieved to hear that she already knows what that is, so I don't have to explain.
はあ、なんでか知らないが、熊のくせにこう体を傾けると羊の声で鳴くんだよな。つい落とした時に鳴き込んで肝を冷やしたぜ。
To be honest, it had come as a real shock to me. I had no idea what a growler was. Now that I think about it, I don't recall ever having received a teddy bear.
とにかくバスキア教諭の疑いはお前の言うつまらない話ってやつだったよ。まあ私から言わせれば変わって見える事件も偶然が積み重なってそう見えているだけ。一つ一つ明かしてみたらそりゃつまらない話になるだろうさ。でだ。
I give her an opening. Surely now she'll tell me. Takasaki narrows her eyes. Not in annoyance, but thanks to the weakness of her sight, and drops her gaze back to the roots of the tree.
スイートピーか。たむけの花だな。花言葉はお前らしいが。
I really liked Banjo's story. That they were sick, so someone took them to a vet. Not that they died and then buried them. Oh gosh. This is the saddest mystery so far. She repeats the words back to me, and I can't help but laugh. Seems like she doesn't know what I'm talking about. My cat-like smile scares small creatures. For a moment, Takasaki's eyes show a timidity more befitting a girl her age, but it's immediately replaced with her usual expressionless look.
あなたの言う通りよ。そうか。ここに眠っているんだな。
But now that you know, aren't you going back and separating the tiny ones from the sneezing adult ones? Right? Like you're not leaving them in there so that more tiny can die? Please? Like, can we have some urgency and act? Okay. For a moment I lower my head in silent prayer at the base of the towering tree. I don't believe in God, but perhaps I should show a little flexibility in this case.
で、訳を話してもらえるか？本当にパトリック・ベイトマンになっちまったわけじゃないだろ？
I don't know what that is.
だからよ。何？聞こえないぞ。白羽さんを悲しませたくなかったからよ。
Aww. Oh, Bea, you're right. They're gonna call on the phone 19 years later, with Battler's voice, asking you what your favorite season is. Okay. Thank you for that. I needed to laugh. Oh god. Aye.
Oh my.
She's gone and produced an explanation about as far removed from the ones I'd come up with as can be. She's claiming she didn't want to upset Shirahane?
そんなにおかしいかしら。そりゃ、そうだろう。お前、
Yes.
人のことなんざどうだっていいってやつじゃないかよ。ええ、そうね。間違ってないわ。でもね、私だって罪悪感くらいは受けるのよ。
In other words, I am human, after all.
聖堂の聖書の時間の時、やめちまった高坂真由里を訪ねたことか。今でも何が悪いかはわからない。どんなに親しくても同級生がいなくなったくらいのことだし。でも
The tautness suddenly dissolves from her features, and her brows furrow.
白羽さんが悲しんだのは事実なのでしょう。だからその上、あいつが可愛がっていた子ウサギが死んだなんて言えなかったってことか。
I wasn't expecting this. I scratched my head, messing up my already disheveled hair.
自分の不手際で病気で死なせたから黙って埋めたとかだったら。
On top of forcing her to apologize before their grave, I'd thought of using this to my own advantage, of getting her to make life at school that much easier for me. But now...
まあ、亡くなったとわかるよりも、今のまま
元気でいるかもと思わせておいた方がいいよな。
Yeah.
ええ。
She nods, seemingly having no qualms about keeping up the lie. I tell her that I'll make sure to report the symptoms.
それはもう領官に告げたわ。きちんと対処もしてくれるって。
Okay. Okay, so action has been taken. Okay, great. I'm relieved. What needed to be done has been done. Looks like our gun is no longer needed, and wasn't really loaded in the first place. As soon as I think this,
それに、
lost in the shadows of the setting sun, my media partner continues the conversation I'd thought was over.
おう。もう一つのわけよ。美人が悲しむ姿はあまり見たくない。でしょ？
美人って。
初めて見た時は驚いたわ。同世代であんなに綺麗な人、見たことがなかったもの。
A faint smile is playing across her lips. I'm completely thrown to hear her express interest in another person's looks. No, in fact, I'm thrown to hear her compliment Shirahane like that.
確かに。
A vision of my bookworm buddy comes to mind. There are others here at the academy who are just as good looking, like Yuzuriha Yatsushiro and Nerine Komikado. Yeah, they are goddesses descended from the heavens or something. But their beauty is different to Shirahane's. Hers is the kind of beauty that makes you ache deep inside. Like a precious childhood memory you've always held dear. Oh, that's so cute! Oh. Which is why, although she attracts everyone, they can never let themselves get close enough to touch her or speak to her.
真相をみんなへ話さないのね。
I love all the changes you're making to the emote. That's so cute. Her words dispelled the image of Shirahane from my mind, and I voice my assent.
自分で自分の立場を悪くすることもない。知らぬが仏ってやつだよ。クラスメイトらも知れば、こっちを非難するやつもいるだろうが、自分たちが信号を見逃したせいだって苦しむやつも多いだろうしな。
We may be easily swayed by emotion, but I think people are fundamentally good. We diluted the poison by spreading it between everyone, and that's fine. My media partner turns her gaze from me and stares down once again at the cut, sweet pea flowers lying at the foot of that huge tree.
初めてこいつの人間的な部分に触れた気がしたな。
That's how I now feel about the Amitia partner who was forced upon me. This strange blank girl who never can seem to take a hint.
何？
いや、お前も人間だったんだな。
She looks at me disparagingly. I hold out my hand to her.
何？
見てわからないか。片手じゃ握手はできないだろう。
そうね。
Aw. In the dim afterlight, I can't make out her expression.
二人だけの秘密だ。
I say this jokingly as she clasps my hand. But when I see her face... Right, of course. Of course she is affected by this. I feel a sense of shame as she shakes my hand. I'll never be Shirahane. Oh my gosh. Ah.
グリム童話に千色川と呼ばれる一辺がある。
Do you even read
王
that?
妃が息を引き取る間際、自分と同じような美しい女性でなければ再婚しないでほしいと遺言を残した。王は、
Okay.
王妃のような美しい女性を見つけることが叶わず再婚せずにいたが、王妃によく似た娘と会い、再婚相手にと決める。娘は王との婚姻を避けるため、月のドレス、星のドレス、太陽のドレス、そして
1000種類の動物の皮で作った毛皮のコート、千色革を作らないと結婚はしないと難題を突きつけた。しかし王はその難題を解決し、婚姻を迫る。娘はドレスの力を使い、幾度も難を逃れるものの、最後は千色革のドレスに着替える時間を取れず、王の妃となってしまう。どれほど厭うていても、思考を巡らしても覆ることがない結末。これから始まる物語は、終わった物事を覆そうと心に決める哀れな娘の話。
It's a depressing story. What? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have no idea how that's supposed to be read. Alright, since we are in a new chapter, just give me a second so I can relocate and sit down. Alright. There we go. And I think I need to adjust this a little bit. Okay. And I'm a bit darker now because the light is not as close. So I just gotta click one button to fix that. There we go. All right. Oh. Ah, nice. Okay, so several days have now passed since the case of the disappearing bunnies was resolved. This really was the saddest outcome of any mystery so far. Oh, our daily life has returned to normal. It's still an unfamiliar kind of normal to me, but normal is now Takasaki assisting with my care. Everything besides bathing, at least, and dragging me along to classes. And my classmates, at first surprised to see me there, have come to accept my attendance in class as normal too. The three witches narrate the opening of the Shakespeare play Macbeth, but then suddenly vanish like bubbles, as though they were never there in the first place. The existence of the baby rabbits, too, has been forgotten in just the same way. To be prisoner to something like that indefinitely would drive a person mad. Right, Shirahane's... My reverie is suddenly interrupted. I answer her. The president forces a dry smile. She's clad in her leotard. What with my equally flippant conversation partner, I've gotten into the habit of speaking like this all the time recently. I should be careful. Nani?
私の網手がおろしたてのトーシューズをハサミで傷つけてるんだが、暑さでついに頭にきたのか。
Actually, very surprisingly, I bumped into a video like this in my feed the other day, where apparently and I learned from it that each ballerina has its own way of like breaking in, I think that's what they were calling new shoes, because they need to kind of be worn out so that they're comfortable, so they kind of like squish them and do all kinds of things to them to get that new shoe state out of the way and make them, I guess, more flexible or more easy to use. And one thing that they do is that, or I mean, it depends on the ballerina, I suppose, from what people were saying in the comments, it's quite there's a wide range of preferences that each dancer has, and you can, like, some of them, and this was also shown in the video, you would cut the tips of the shoes to make them, I guess, less prone to slip, or just, I don't know exactly, makes it somehow that makes it easier to dance in them. Wow, this is so weird that I saw that a few days ago. Now we read this. Okay, great, crazy. What? Are there some higher powers listening in? Okay.
違うわ。あれは滑り止めのためにやっているの。新品のつま先は滑りやすいのよ。
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I saw.
へえ、よかった。自分の網手がおかしくなったんじゃないって分かったよ。やだわ。
She touches my shoulder as she laughs. I'd seen my eldest sister do the same thing back at home, so I knew there had to be some reason for it. But as a topic of conversation, it seems to have helped dispel the awkward mood. We continue chatting until someone butts in to point out that the teacher's late.
みんな着替え終わってから結構経つのに。
It's Ichigo Sasaki. She beams at us, seeking our agreement.
かもな。そうね。何かご用があって手間取っているのかしら。
スオちゃんも見かけないですから、スオちゃん絡みですかね。
The other Sasaki sister has sneaked up on us. She grips the handle of my wheelchair as she speaks. The president's furrowed brow is easy enough to read.
単に鼻摘みとかだろ。レオタードを着替えてから催したらめんどくさそうだもんな、それ。やだ、八重垣さんたら。
Her face flushes. Ringo nods knowingly, but then suddenly stops and stares at a fixed point in the distance like a cat before a mouse. I have no idea what they're talking about. What? Am I just too tired? So, So-chan's not here, okay. Okay. She's probably just, powdering her nose. Seems like it will be a pain to leave it till after you're in those leotards. Ah, this was an euphemism for going to the bathroom. I took it literally, and I was like, what? Okay, mystery solved. I'm fine. I'm back. Oh gosh.
よろしかったらバレエのレッスンをご一緒に。結構よ。私は一人でやりたいの。
It took me a while. Okay. I never used that euphemism myself, so it didn't immediately come to mind that's what it meant. It's like, why would you need to powder your nose before or after putting on a leotard? How does that... Okay. Yeah. She's staring at Takasaki, the latter having just turned down a classmate's invitation to practice together rather bluntly.
なんというか、クールですよね。スオちゃんとは別の意味でのクールさだね。でも変わらないよね、高崎ちゃん。
Although people's attitudes towards her have become more favorable since the case of the disappearing bunnies was resolved, Takasaki hasn't exactly taken advantage of it. Life seems to hang heavy on her. I can understand disliking people for a good reason, like I do, but in a woman's world like this, it's a real problem when someone just has a bad attitude. That much is clear as day. The president seems to be of the same opinion as me. She appears a little worried by it, even troubled. I turn to her and say, as the class president, why don't you ask her? Doesn't it make you mad, that attitude of hers? I wouldn't want to pick this. Yes, this is the choice. Yes, thank you very much.
なあ、そんな顔をするなら一緒にどうって誘ってみたらどうだ?
The second one is too much, even for Erika, like, Jesus.
技量が低いやつとは一緒に踊らないとか思っているなら、同程度の委員長なら一緒にやるんじゃねえの? かしら。
That seems to have tugged at the heartstrings of our good-natured class president. However,
冗談だよ。きっとただの人嫌いさ。技量で付き合いを求めてるなら、もっと早く委員長にお声がかかるだろ。もう、八重垣さん。
she leans over me, puffing out her cheeks. The white of her leotard fills my vision. Why did I struggle with it? What? I'm so sorry. My brain does weird things when I'm tired. It doesn't send the right signals. Okay. And I get a good view of the swell of her breasts. Sure. Oh my god. Erika. Thinking of my own underdeveloped figure, I get the urge to tease her a little. I mean, I guess they are at the age where you compare those things, right? And where you might feel a little bit awkward if you're behind other people. It's normal, it's puberty. I will think of it just like that, innocently. That is just puberty. For now. She looks around in a fluster before realizing that I'm lying, and I laugh at her flushed face. Meanwhile, Takasaki is continuing with her stretches alone. Having seen her classmate brave an invitation only to get shot down before their very eyes, everyone's sending nervous glances her way. It's like she's a hot coal they're afraid to touch for fear of getting burned. And when she ends up alone, it will be in a very different sense to Shirahane, I think to myself. Misanthropes don't seek to have other people like them. It would be presumptuous to expect others to like you when you're not offering the same. But in her case... Pinching the noisy Sasaki's side. The noisy Sasaki, I love that. I like those anime girls who don't compare their breasts, all four of them. Yeah. Yeah. Right. I gaze at my reflection in the mirror. When I let slip a grumble about being hungry, she asks me if I skipped lunch. Ooh. And that's all, since my Amitia partner didn't bring me any bread or rice. I sigh.
So, 確かにお魚料理だからご飯が欲しくなるわよね。ですよね。
Even as I agree.
思い切り外国人顔のバスキア教諭からご飯がないとってのは違和感だな。
I have so many questions about our teacher. I still have no idea where she's from. I think she once mentioned that her father was a priest. I like rice too. Why do you say that? Oh, is it in reference to her, Erika making it be like, oh, it's weird when a non-Japanese likes rice, or it's like unusual? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see. She's misinterpreted my contemplative silence. She puts a hand to her perfectly sculpted chin and thinks for a moment. Yeah, I can't help being taken back because of the rice thing. to when I went to Japan. I was lucky enough to be able to go there for a little bit, and the hotel we were staying in had just the usual Japanese breakfast, and there was rice, and it was absolutely delicious, and everything was so good, very, very good. And I was just like with my bowl of rice, just eating it. And one of the ladies there approached me and told me that I eat rice very Japanese-like. And it was so cute. Because, like, I didn't have enough, and I still don't have enough skills to formulate the proper full fluent response back. I just said thank you. And, like, she didn't want more than to exchange more than that. She was just, like, super cute. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that was cute. What did she mean? She meant she gesticulated and she meant that I was eating even the last grain out of the bowl. Right? Because it was so good, and the way they made it, it was just so easy to pick it with the chopsticks and stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna eat all of this. So I didn't leave a single grain behind. So she said that was very Nipponjin mitai. She was so cute. Okay. Right, so. Hunger moment. Sorry, bear. Being a little peckish only makes me more appreciative of Kat's grace. Yeah, that's one way of seeing things.
So, 無理はしないでね.
Sister Basket's topaz eyes narrow softly. She addresses me like she's warning off a small child. you do that as well, Adventure. That's great. If you go, just indulge in the food. It's great. It's great. Everything, like, even if you just go to a convenience store and get whatever they have already pre-made in the shelves there, it's absolutely delicious and really well made. So super high quality food. I endorse it 100%. Sorry, I think I should read this. I almost find myself asking her to take me back to her room and treat me to something, but I suppressed the urge. What? Because of the teddy bears. What are you saying? Yes, her room filled with teddy bears. Fighting back a smile, I notice how troubled Sister Basket looks.
どうかしましたか?
そのね、八重垣さんにお願いがあるのだけど。
はあ。ま、借金以外のお願いなら聞きますよ。
本当？本当に八重垣さんは素直でいい子だわ。あのね、高崎さんのことなの。
Just the mention of her name gives me a bad feeling about this.
学院に編入して、そろそろクラスのみんなと打ち解けてもいい頃だと思うの。
他の編入生組はうまくやってますよね。
ええ、でも高崎さんだけ誰とも口を聞こうとしないでしょ。あ、八重垣さんは別ですけど。
Although even with me, she doesn't really talk about anything she doesn't have to.
だから八重垣さんから他のクラスメイトの方々を紹介してほしいの。
Takasaki wouldn't want that. I'll try, but only because you're asking. I think she wouldn't want that. This sounds more like a Dahlia route to answer, but let's see. Oh, damn it, no, that's the one. I'll try, but only because you're asking. Okay then. And to be honest, it will be a pain for me.
ま、バスキア教諭の頼みなら。
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I was there 8 years ago, so maybe things have changed in the meantime. But absolutely, sure. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Ah, so it's the same for both. Okay, got it. I instinctively shrink back at the soft touch of her hand. As she leans forward, the scent of her body, womanly in all the ways that mine isn't, overwhelms me.
ごめんなさい。ぶしつけだったかしら。
いえ、驚いただけです。
そうでも本当によかった。二人とも仲良くやっているようだし、アミティエになって正解ね。
勘弁してくださいよ。
I plead with her internally, but say nothing. As a middle child, I've been taught to pay my carers respect.
ありがとう。
Oh. I flew from France to Japan, and it really wasn't that bad. The airplane was quite comfy. It had... every seat had a screen in front of them, so in the back of the seat in front, and you could watch any movies you wanted for free. They even had very recently, the movies that had come out really recently, so that was very cool. I caught up on a few movies during those flights. When it's, let's say, nighttime, they dim the lights and you can chill and maybe fall asleep, and it's all very cool. Like, they took really great care of us, so I didn't even feel it because I just kept myself busy, or, you know, maybe took a little nap, so... I want to die after 2 hours in the air usually. 12 hours of sitting still kill me. I mean, you can get up a little. There were people who were getting up and walking a little bit up and down the aisle and stuff. I feel you. But I also was dreading it because I had never flown for that anywhere near that close amount of time. And it really wasn't that bad at the end of the day. So don't make it a self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? Just go into it with, like, positive vibes. Positive vibes. It will be okay. It will just pass. It will just pass. Sister Basket clasps my hand. Her slim fingers stroke my palm. Oh, and I think the food was included in the ticket, so we didn't have to pay for it. And they gave us really, really nice food, like a little obento kind of thing. Much, 2 thumbs up. Much approval, yes, very good. Okay, so she clasped my hand, her slim fingers struck my palm. It's such an intimate gesture, almost a caress, that I can't stop the flush from spreading across my cheeks. Her smile makes it seem like there isn't a shred of bad in the world, and I can't say a word in return. If anyone else had asked me, I'd have shut them down. Watching Sister Basket wave and walk off, my feelings are pretty mixed. I've decided to just give it my best shot, but...
本気で言っているのか? うちに来たらいいよ.
I'd spilled the beans about my conversation with Sister Basket to the president, and overhearing it, Ichigo had thrown out a proposal that really touched me. I put a hand to my scant chest. You don't have to add that. Oh, Erika. Oh.
お前が高崎の友達になるってのか。本気で?
Scant.
そうじゃなくて、今日料理部で定例の試食会があるんだ。そこに連れてきたらどうかなって話。ああ、うちにってのはそういうことね。
Of course, no one would willingly take the initiative in making friends with someone as irritating as her.
今日の定例の試食会にはゲストが来るのですよ。ゲスト？コミカド先輩ですよ。それに八代会長もいるってわけか。
Nerine Komikado is perfectly sensible. Yusui Hayatsushiro, on the other hand...
なるほど。毒を持って毒を制すってやつか。それだと共倒れになっちゃうよ。 でもなんか仲良くなれそうな気がしない？
They're both real eccentrics, so perhaps they'll hit it off. Perhaps.
ま、一応やることはやりましたって言い訳も立つしな。
あ、何やら面白いものが見られそうですな。楽しみ。
You two are quite the pair yourselves, I mutter, watching Takasaki's back as she flicks through her textbook.
やあ、僕は八代ゆずりは、二階屋の会の会長、そしてここ料理部の部員を兼務している。君は高崎千鳥くんだったね。
It's been a while since we saw them.
私は小見門ねりねと言います。二階屋の会の副会長をしているの。ダメよゆずりは。高崎さんが困っているじゃない。
The goddesses descended from heaven and walking among us mortals. They're so pretty, both of them. They introduce themselves briefly, since it's their first time meeting her.
相変わらず図抜けているな。
With her steely eyes, skin like porcelain, and hair of fine spun silver, the council president could easily have been made rather than born of woman. Oh my god. The fact that her demeanor is so androgynous, in complete contrast to her looks, only serves to emphasize her uniqueness. And the golden girl who accompanies her is quite the showstopper herself. Like she's a bisque doll with her pretty features, her luxurious golden hair, and those celadon eyes that threaten to swallow you whole if you look into them too long. They look almost like figures in a religious painting when they're standing there next to each other. Takasaki had once complimented Shirahane's looks. She now seems startled to be confronted by two similarly good-looking girls.
ま、初見じゃこっちの方が派手だからな。
ん？八重垣くん、何が派手だって？
先輩たちの見た目ですよ。左右に金と銀に囲まれて豪華な屏風に挟まれてる気分ですよ。
ねえ、八重垣さんって面白いでしょ。
ああ、話では聞いていたが、僕好みだ。
I've met them before, but this is the first time we've really spoken. Yatsushiro-senpai smiles cynically at me. She's the one Shirahane had warned me to watch out for.
さて、それでは試食しながらゆっくり話そうじゃないか。ねえ、八重垣くん、高崎くん。
I smile weakly as she takes hold of both our arms. The taste testing session is in full swing.
ん？どうした？パンケーキはお気に召さないかい？僕はこれにオレンジジュースが最高の相性だと思うんだがね。
そうですか。
朝は炭水化物を取らないとね。そろそろ夕食だが何構うまい。君くらいの年頃なら食べ盛りだろう。
あら、ダメよゆずりは。無理やり押し付けたらかわいそうだわ。高崎さんはパイが好きなのよね。どうぞ、このアップルパイも美味しいわよ。
Hang in there, bear. At least we're not seeing it, okay? It's just words on the screen. It seems that this month they've been focused on desserts. The two upperclassmen have been bringing over dessert after dessert, out of mistaken consideration for Takasaki, who never eats much due to her concern for her figure. Mistaken consideration, I like that. Dreaded run from it. Oh, Chidorin.
ご愁傷様だな。あなたね。
ん？八重垣くんの皿も空だな。今パンケーキを取ってやろう。
Oh no, okay, now we have visuals. We're getting visuals. Or no, the visuals stopped. Okay, okay. The heap of pancakes is so heavy. It makes a dull thud when it hits my plate, and suddenly I'm no longer laughing. Even the true pancake obsessive would be sick of them after this many.
ホットケーキは好物ですが、こんなには。
Oh, dang!
八重垣くんはパンケーキが好物なのか。ならもっと用意しておくんだったな。
What is the difference between a pancake and a hot cake? I keep seeing the two words, and it seems like they're using them interchangeably. But then why are there two words for it? Why is there just one? Erika will explain. Okay, okay. Oh my gosh. There you go. Are these slices of lemon? Might be. Or bananas. They're kind of wide to be bananas. But and a bit thin, but maybe. Yeah, maybe bananas would make more sense. Okay. Lemon fan club. Hi.
いや違うわ。気づかないなんてうかつね。ゆずりは
Man, they're big. Jesus Christ. I don't think I'd be able to eat more than, like, I don't know, half of that. That looks like a lot of sugar in one place. Mm-mm.
僕をうかつと言ったのか、ネリー。
八重垣さんはパンケーキでなく、ホ
There we
ットケ
go.
ーキが好物と言ったのよ。そのニュアンスの違いがわかる？
There is a difference, alright. There's a moment of hesitation in her steel blue eyes before they widen in realization. Then she spreads her arms wide in an absurdly exaggerated gesture and slaps a hand to her forehead.
そうか。本来パンケーキの名が示す通り、糖分を抑え、厚みのあるまさにパン代わりに食事を進める主食だった。だが今は。
今はパンケーキの方がデザート化し、ホットケーキの方がパンの名を冠しても良い存在になってしまった。八重垣さんはね。
深いな。
How profound! Yatsushiro senpai nods deeply, staring fixedly down at her pancakes with those steely eyes of hers. I'm pretty sure the pan in pancake came from frying pan, I retort silently.
変わっているわ。お前に言われたくないだろうが、同意だ。
Having lost the will to argue, I obediently slice into the mountain of pancakes and take a bite. The texture is soft and fluffy, with a slight degree of resistance when I bite into them. I'd have loved them if they weren't so overloaded with chocolate, bananas, and cream. Okay, so it's bananas. Damn.
ホットケーキはシロップとバターでいいんだよな。この味付けならスフレみたいな食感の方が良かった気がするぜ。
I noted down my score on the printout I'd been handed at the start of the session. Total 3 points. Points reduced for texture. Is that 3 out of 10 or 3 out of 5?
ちゃんとつけているのね。後でイチャモンつけられても嫌だからな。私は後で言わせて。
It seems she's still disgruntled about the fact that I tricked her into coming. It didn't take much. Sister Basket wants to talk to you about something to do with ballet, so let's go, partner. That's all I said.
お前も案外しつこいな。
What a blatant lie. Oh my gosh.
バレエのことで呼び出されたらこれよ。文句が出ない方がおかしいでしょ。いいじゃんかよ。ただでうまいものが食べられるんだぞ。無理やりでしょ。それに私は体重制限をしているから。
あらあら、ホークが進んでいないみたいね。私のモンブランと交換しましょうか。
いえ、大丈夫です。
She takes a bite of her apple pie and smiles awkwardly.
とても美味しいです。
そう、よかったわ。
Komikado senpai smiles gently, perhaps relieved that she doesn't have to give away her Mont Blanc. Her smile lights up her face like a sunflower in bloom. She is the denizen of a fairy tale land, far removed from this one. Oh, how sweet.
そうだ。高崎くんは芸能のお仕事をしていたそうだね。過分で済まないが、 僕はその辺疎くてね。芸能というとどういったことをやっていたのかな？
あ、劇や歌が主で。
シェイクスピアのような。
いえ、進撃の方で。
進撃？物騒じゃないか。
Oh. Oh, she's so cute. What? Takasaki is starting to get flustered as they take turns firing questions at her. It's unusual to see her so worked up, but
初見でこの先輩二人はきついよな。
they aren't the type to let her get away with her usual dismissive attitude. It would be different if there were either one of them on their own, but bring them together and it really ratchets it really ratchets up the pressure. Cute. My immediate partner makes a silent appeal for help. And I throw her a lifeline or forsake her. Now, I know we're savage, but I don't think we're that savage to forsake her, right? We throw her a lifeline? Is that it? Yes. Yes, that's it.
自分が連れてきたとはいえ、さすがに気の毒かも。
Individually, I could handle either the council president or her deputy, but put them both together and you face a real challenge. I address Komikado senpai, who is enthusiastically trying to draw a conversation out of Takasaki.
コミカド先輩は合唱部で活躍されていますが、将来は音大に進まれるんですか？
あら、進学のお話？私はまだそこまで考えていないわ。趣味でやっていければいいとも思っているし。
Komikado senpai puts a pale finger to her chin, apparently considering my question very seriously. When I glance toward my immediate partner, she rewards me with a faint smile of gratitude, even as she continues to sustain a barrage of questions from Yatsushiro senpai.
八重垣さんは考えていらっしゃるの？
私は、そうですね。
I tug at my flyaway bags.
将来は司法試験を受けて、弁護士でも目指そうかなと。企業弁護士よりも環境問題を取り扱う弁護士になりたいですね。
Interesting.
ちゃんと考えているのね。立派だわ。
Her lily pale hand softly brushes my skin as she lays it atop mine. I feel a faint pang of guilt under her trusting gaze.
適当に合いそうな話を振っただけなんだけどな。
I smile weakly as words of encouragement fly from her cherry lips and then turn to her partner.
コミカド先輩とは何度か話していますが、八代先輩ときちんと話すのは初めてですよね。
おや？そうだったかな。スオ君と話していると君の話題がよく出るのでそんな気がしなかったが、確か
白羽とはよく話されるのですか？
彼女は僕の師だからね。料理部で教えてもらっているんだ。
She shakes her ponytail and makes a show of looking around the room.
図書委員の当番日と勝ち合ってしまって残念だよ。
She laments it as though it's the end of the world. Oh. I'm impressed by my book. See, this is the second time they said bookwork, buddy, instead of bookworm. And I don't know if I should read it like this or fix it. Because bookwork? What is bookwork? Okay, I'm impressed by my bookworm buddy, but seeing the envious looks being directed Yatsushiro senpai's way by everyone else, it kind of seems like attracting her attention like that is something you're meant to be immensely grateful for.
ここでも白羽さん。
八重垣くんと高崎くんは部には入ってないそうだね。どうだい？料理部に入っては。今なら年会費無料だよ。
Well, I'm happy enough to have received an invite.
自分は食べる一辺倒なので。
そうか。ならば今なら 僕とお揃いのエプロンをつけよう。
I like that.
私はこの八重垣さんの世話をしないといけませんので。
She cuts a slice from her apple pie, spears it with her fork, and holds it out toward me. It's a gesture that's obviously intended to declare her role as my carer.
ありがとう、ハニー。
Oh my god.
いいのよ。
Next up, bookworm, buddy. Okay. Okay. Takasaki's smile doesn't quite reach her eyes. I lean in and eat the piece of apple pie off her fork in one bite. The pie crust is flaky and the stewed apple inside is flavored with cinnamon. This gets a passing mark from me. I mean, that's how you're supposed to make it. That's how it's supposed to come out.
仲がいいのね。
このアップルパイはリンゴくんが作ったのだよ。
Of course she did. Oh.
共食いネタか。
I love how they had to add this for the English translation, but like she didn't say anything at all. She just said that Ringo made the apple pie, right? But they added a whole extra sentence to lead into the cannibalism joke. Komikado-senpai covers her mouth with both hands as she giggles. I guess the fact that Ringo-san's name means apple has made this a running joke in the club. I glance over at her table and... she knows what she did. She flashes a peace sign my way. I get it. You can stay where you are. Oh, I love Ringo so much.
残念だな。そういえばバレエもだが、歌声も素晴らしいと耳にしたが、本当かい？
仕事の兼ね合いでボーカルレッスンも受けていましたから。
おお、料理部は断られたが、こいつは合唱部の期待のホープになるんじゃないか？
合唱部？
She repeats the words haltingly. A club for aspiring angels? Or answer normally. I don't know, it feels like a little bit much, but... Where is it? Answer normally, yeah. Okay, thank God.
合唱部って知らないのか？聖堂で何度も聖歌を歌っただろ？あれの部活版だよ。
それは知っているわ。でもホープって。
Is she wondering who that word was aimed at?
嫌味か。話の流れからお前に決まってるだろうが。歌の良し悪しはわからないが、お前うまいじゃないかよ。
そう。
なんだよ。
前に大したことないって言ったでしょ。
お前も大概根に持つやつだな。あの場面は相手がアリアナ・グランデでも文句を言う状況だろうが。そう。なんで嬉しそうなんだよ、おい。
With that, she falls silent and I turn my attention back to Komikado-senpai, who's still covering her mouth after her bout of giggles.
そうだ。せっかくだし、合唱部の見学でも行ったらどうだ？見学ってできますか、コミカド先輩？
見学者はいつでも歓迎よ。
Though I'm looking to cause a little mischief with this question, it also occurs to me that I'll surely have fulfilled my duty to Sister Basket if I do take this step. She stares at me with her usual annoyed expression. No, like she's searching for my true intentions.
明日伺ってもよろしいでしょうか？
She addresses Komikado-senpai.
ぜひ来てちょうだい。興味を持っていただけて嬉しいわ。
She puts a pale finger to her cheek and smiles.
おい、マジかよ。
I'm shocked to hear her seriously going along with that, with what was supposed to be a joke. I stare intently into her eyes as she receives a slice of that coveted Mont Blanc, wondering where her true intentions lie. Alright. Okay. If it's alright with you, I would like to stop here for tonight. I'm feeling a little bit tired and I feel like I'm kind of slipping away, not paying enough attention to things. So this is perfect. It's been like enough ground covered to the stream, I think. Yeah. So let me make a save. Yeah, thank you for joining. This was really fun. Été continues to be very, very strong in terms of just general enjoyment, laughter, and good feelings. So I'm very happy to have done this. Yeah. I'm still sad for the bunnies, so yeah, I guess that is a bit of a conflicting thing, but at the very least we have laughed heartily tonight as well, so I'm happy about that. Let's quit the game. Yes, please. There it is. And here we are. Ah, okay. Every time I exit the game, it seems like I lag a little bit. Wonder what that is. Very weird. Right. Oh, by the way, yeah, Banjo wasn't here to see it, but I had the weird lagging issue like we had in Golden Fantasia. I had it with this novel, which was weird. I don't have an explanation for it. Yeah. The meddlings of a golden witch, I guess. Right here. Extremely demanding VN. Yeah, I don't know. I think my suspicions are directed towards Steam, to be honest. Because it seems to be doing something when you start a game or close a game or try to join someone else's invite, stuff like that. A perfect reason to Oh, Chidorin, that's so cute. Alright. It's still gonna be a while until she's here though, but yeah. Sounds like a plan. Which leads me into, since you mentioned Honkai, it is also a plan that we're streaming this Saturday, right? Everybody on board with that? In the Discord as per usual. I'll announce it tomorrow. I'll specify the times and everything. I guess I'll just do it as I did it before, with 2 streams on Saturday. Yeah. Is it enough from your experience, Bea, as well, if we do like 2 sessions of 2.5 hours each? With the potential of the second one maybe extending if we need more time? Of course, everyone is invited to come chill if you find the time. Should be fine. Okie doke. So then I will schedule it similarly as we did before. I'll write a message in the announcements channel tomorrow, and on Saturday we shall make it happen. Oh, thank you, Venture. No pressure and no worries. You are always welcome though if you want to chill whenever we do that. Aw, touching grass is also a very great thing to do, so no worries, Chidorin. Go do that, go do that. I'll record the stream as I did before, so you can check out later if there are any like moments that you want to see or something, so no worries. No worries. Alright. This has been great. I'm conflicted about the mystery because it ended in a sad note, but also it has been the most compelling one so far. I guess it's the one that I was most invested in somehow. Because bunnies. Yeah. This time it's a very easy to understand story, lots of fun. Oh, okay. Looking forward to that even more now. Alrighty. Alright, yeah. For now, good night. The mysteries are better in 2-3, especially for... Okay, so they're just gonna go... they're gonna get increasingly better. Awesome. Looking forward to that. Alright. Okay. Then we will continue with this on Tuesday as per the usual schedule. And in the meantime, I will also catch you on Saturday if you manage to come by the Discord to play the story in the latest patch of Honkai Star Rail. Yeah. Looking forward to that. Right now, I'm gonna go crash because I'm very tired. But I appreciate you all. This has been so nice to share with you. So I'm looking forward to more of it, and really curious to see where this route is going, because it's building up to be really good. Alrighty, take care. Night. Bye bye.